Welcome back to the range. I've got the Staccato P4X that just spent a better part of a week back at the Staccato factory getting worked over. I was having issues with it barely dribbling brass out of the gun, and if you shot the gun one-handed with 115s, it tended to make the gun stovepipe. So they did an extensive amount of work. Let me just read to you what they did. Tuning pistol to overcome adverse shooting conditions, reamed and polished chamber for less drag on case, polished disconnector rail for less drag, tuned sear spring for less disconnector pressure, test fired additional mix of Winchester 115 FMJ, Blazer 124 FMJ, MagTech 95 grain JSP, and Staccato 135 grain OTM without issue, shooting one-handed and freestyle. Observe slightly more energy in ejection pattern. So that's a lot of work to get the gun to throw the brass cases out. Worth mentioning is I went to the indoor range and I put about 75 rounds through the gun. It was running just fine. We're gonna put 250 through it today, a couple different hollow points and some 147 gamer type loads. See how it runs. All right, here we go. I can tell already that the brass is throwing further than it did. I mean, it was almost hitting my hand dribbling out of the gun, but now I've got a healthy probably 3.5, 4 feet of ejection. That's pretty good. Let's go lefty. Good. Let's see how far the brass goes freestyle. Yeah, honestly, it's going about the same as one hand. That's good. Everything's good so far. This is all the same stuff that was choking the gun. It's Fiocchi Range Dynamics 115. It's supposed to be 1200 from the muzzle. It doesn't get that out of this gun. Running fast, it's still throwing brass just like it's supposed to. Let's see fast one-handed. Everything's good. And no, I'm not aiming at targets. I'm just putting rounds down range to see if the ejection's good. Ejection started looking weak. I mean, I just heated the gun up a lot, shooting pretty quick through it. Probably some of the oil's run out or evaporated. The ejection's not throwing as far. It's throwing about half as far. It's not dribbling over my hand like it was. Let's go lefty and see if that's gonna be all right. Starting to see some get thrown off. I guess that was an optic strike. Oh, there's one. This slide is hot. I don't want to touch it. There we go. So with the left hand, we had one stovepipe still. Let's keep going with left hand, see what we get. Still good. Stovepipe number 2. I don't want to touch the hot slide. Get out of there. I was on the last round. Not the end of the world, but not good. Back to righty. So you can see all the smoke coming off the gun. Like, it's getting super hot, the oil's baking off. This is not how you would traditionally run your gun, but we did have a couple stovepipes. I've got one more set of ammo to get through for the 250, and we'll try a couple different defensive loads, see what it does. All right, last of the 250 Fiocchi, got 2 mags. Ooh, the frame's getting hot. And this is the last round of the Fiocchi, last mag. There's the third stovepipe on the last round. So 2 of the stovepipes, 3 stovepipes total, all on the last round. The brass is in a nice little pile kind of at my 230 right in front of me here. You can see that all the brass is landing kind of in this general area from where I was shooting. Almost all of that is my brass. I want to try some Buffalo Creek 147s. These are competition loads. They don't have a ton of gas. Let's just see how it does. It's not going nearly as far with the brass. But those were good. That's actually felt great out of that gun. These are Nosler Asp 115s loaded at 1090 FPS. So very light loading. It's not going to get 1090 out of this gun. Let's see what happens. It's barely clearing my hand. Oh, there's one. Four stovepipes. We've got the SIG V crowns, just what I had left in my car. These are, I think, 12 rounds here. These are 124s. Proper duty loads, throws a little bit further. All good with the duty loads. Got some 115 gold dots, only had 5 left in the car. Let's see. Yep, these are good.
All right, so I'm sitting here looking at this footage, trying to understand what's going on here. Clearly, there's a couple things with the duty loads. It's throwing the brass very far, but with typical range loads, specifically 115s, it's not throwing the brass very far, and it's probably the spring choice that they're using on the recoil spring. If you look at the slow motion video, you can see that the P4.5 goes into battery after the P4X does. So shorter stroke lengths has always been a problem with short slide 1911 style pistols. So it's probably some of column A, some of column B. Another thing to think about is that the gun was slowing down as the gun heated up. Now, that's probably 2 things. It's the oil cooking off, but it's also the potential that the metal is getting hot. The metal could be kind of swelling and growing, slowing the slide down. That could be. Maybe it's overly toleranced. That could be in play as well. I'm not a machinist. I'm not a metallurgist. I'm just observing the conditions that I encountered with the gun. So I have no clue what's causing it to do this. Clearly, the thing isn't squared away for like doing what I'm doing here, which is just running a ton of ammo through it and having it work every single time. It doesn't quite do that, but we'll see what they want to do about it.
So the gun is improved, but I would say it's still struggling. When the gun is clean and oiled up well, you could see about 150 rounds in with the strong hand only. That's when the stovepipe started showing up. I'd say the failure rate is improved. I couldn't make it through a single magazine before without it choking, and now it's making it all the way through magazines, which is good. But on that last round, it's getting hung up in the stovepipe on some of the mags. Do with that what you want. It's probably going to have to go back to Staccato. If you want to watch the initial review of the video, you can see that down below here.